one of the most frequent mistakes that students usually make is they do not separate the frontier adverbials using a comma, which they should. Any adverbial, if it opens a sentence, should be separated using a comma. So, for example, adverbials which represent time, manner, possibility, frequency, place. So all of these adverbials, if they open the sentence, they must be separated using a comma. Some examples would be, on the other hand, comma, and the sentence. For example, comma, and the sentence. For instance, comma, plus sentence. However, comma, sentence. Moreover, comma, sentence. Furthermore, comma, sentence. In addition, comma, sentence. Additionally, comma, sentence. Any sentence that opens with a fronted adverbial must be separated using a comma. This is one of those frequent mistakes which I have been observing in different writing samples. Whenever I assess any of the samples of my students. So I think one of the reasons that people are confused about these things is the function of a subordinating conjunctions like since, because, although. When they open the sentence, you do not put the comma right after them. So many students are confused when they see that although opens the sentence but does not get a comma right after it, but there are other words which do. So I think one of the main reasons why people fall prey to this type of error is the subordinating conjunctions being similar in their usage to these adverbials. So when a student sees that a conjunction like although opens the sentence, but there is no comma right after the word although, so then they believe that to be a rule, not only for subordinating conjunctions, but also for the conjunctive adverbs, which do get a comma right after them. So I think that confusion between subordinate conjunctions and the fronted adverbials is one of the reasons that people do not put a comma after that. So what I would recommend is students should look at the lists of subordinating conjunctions and adverbials separately. You can find any list of conjunctions and conjunctive adverbials, and you can see that there are certain words which are conjunctions, and then there are certain words which are adverbials. Apparently their use could be same. I mean, most of the times the use of a conjunction or an adverbial is, of course, to connect ideas, to pave way for the next coming up idea, or to connect the following sentence to the previous one, or maybe the next part of the sentence to the previous part. But of course, grammatically there is a difference. So the rule of comma is also different for both of them. And if someone understands the concept of phrases and clauses, even then the concept would be a bit easier for students to understand, particularly when a student understands that a fronted adverbial is an adverbial. In the same way, clause, the subordinating clause is most of the times is an adverbial. So the sentence, the part of the sentence which begins with the subordinating conjunction, like since, although, because, that word itself is not the adverbial, but that clause completely is. So for example, if I open a sentence with an expression from the subordinating conjunctions, I would say something like this: since it was raining, comma, I took the day off. So now the comma comes after the adverbial. So adverbial could be a word, a phrase, or a clause. So we do need to understand the difference between an adverb and a conjunction. And how is that possible, if you ask? Yes, you will have to go through a list of words. You will have to memorize them. And that is the only and the best solution to overcome this problem. So just download a list of adverbials, and you can even go for a Google search for like fronted adverbials and just memorize, just go through the list and start putting commas if you open your sentences using those fronted adverbials. Thank you very much. See you next time.